Whatever it takes to go viral.
It's Fire 716.
Let's go.
It's Big Frank in the morning. Jay Cherie keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air. Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it. Hey.
It's Fire 716.
Let's go.
It's Big Frank in the morning. Jay Cherie keeping it going. We got them hot topics, local news, and BGC flowing. We got Big Kev on the air. Dark Knight flying in here. It's Fire 716 and we rocking it. Hey.
Bennett's in Buffalo in the building.
Buffalo Bennett.
Buffalo Bennett's in the building. The homegirl Fatima Matthews in the building. It's
We litty lit
good morning.
in the building.
Good. You know, I'm not say that. I'm not a cusser, but I just felt like good
What you
mother. No. Good. No.
Thank you.
No, it's glad to be alive. Glad to be present on this good old Friday. Listen, how was y'all Thursday? Talk about it.
Great.
I accidentally took a 3-hour nap. I was sitting there. I had ate these wonderful crunch things I get from Walmart. They're like shrimp egg roll things.
Yeah.
And I was full. I was tired, and then I woke up at 6. And I was like, you know what? I got work. I gotta get done. So that was my Thursday. I'm here. Thank God.
But you're here. That's a real thing. I sound muffled.
Kev on air. How was your Thursday?
Thursday for me was Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. I had a lot of work to do. I got a project due Sunday.
Yeah.
And when I say they want some work, they want some work.
Full Sail don't play.
I don't like school anymore.
And it's not the work. It's the week. Every week every month is a new course. So every week it's a new task. Something new every week. It's crazy. No, valid. Tippy toe. Call me Mr. Ballerina because I'm on my toes.
My Thursday, I discovered 2 things. I really don't like school, and my body does what it wants. That's pretty much what my Thursday was like. I was doing Bible study prep with my partner, but like I really realized I had all day yesterday because I chose not to go to work. I was like, I'm not going to work. Forget the people.
I understand.
But I didn't do no. I was like, but I realized this whole day, all I did was eat Lucky Charms and catch up on my shows. I do no schoolwork yesterday, and I'm legit paying for this education. I was like, I don't care, but it's my fault because instead of taking the month off during Christmas break, I was helping my job out doing scheduling. So I only had like a 3-day break. So my body is like, this is what you get. You ain't gonna get nothing out because you're gonna burn out. But like I realized that, and then my body was just like, I think we're going to sleep. And I was like, no, because we got stuff.
Your body was like,
You say
you
no,
don't get rest.
Push punches.
But I also realized my sleep apnea is real. Like almost died in my sleep last night because I woke up like gasping for air and coughing because I stopped breathing in my sleep. So I was like,
That's dangerous.
it is, but it's also pushing my starting the weight loss journey on February 1st because I got chocolate covered strawberries coming and I need to heave to have those, before it happens. So, yeah.
I hear you.
Yes.
Really is very serious.
Wow.
Right, to try.
They didn't want to take the risk.
Oh, dang.
Oh my God. Oh Amen to that.
Don't be coming for my sister in love, dude. Like,
Nah.
I was on white women church and I started wrong girl. And her doing her due diligence. We in the bed. We sleep. We in the vacation. Go to the store, have a word, have a conversation. We good. Live in the house and based on my knowledge, everybody just she walk in the door on the phone. Close the door, start looking for the kid. Who is talking to? On the phone. Why the kid not waking up? Not here yet at 2 o'clock in the morning. My son is up. He want to play. I mean, he want to peekaboo. He want to go full play. The girl is crying, watching Rachel, Miss Rachel. What is that?
Yeah.
The surprise you around the world.
Chilling.
Now,
Disturbing the peace.
They need Benadryl.
That's what my mama did.
Not melatonin.
That's gonna knock you out.
Melatonin, you not waking up.
Nah, that joint.
You not waking up.
melatonin don't work for me.
You bro.
Hey, Josh.
It's different for the babies.
Josh.
When I say it do a combo to the babies,
Hold on.
Uh-oh. Favor me.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, aka D Belly, aka your city council. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, aka D Belly, aka your city council. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio, and I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11
Hey,
on our
Sheree.
show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716 app. See you then.
Okay.
Hey, Ren.
All right. Let's see. Let's do a quick
Say something, Ren.
question. Okay. Quick question. I just pulled up one here real quick. What has been your most embarrassing moment? And I ain't gonna say most
Still can't
embarrassing
hear you.
moment because I've had a lot. When I was in college, this is in 2013, 14. Where's that coming from? Oh, I'm
We're
like,
trying
is that
to
coming from my phone?
see if we can hear Frank.
Sorry. So me and my friend had a dorm room together, and I wanted to use her hair crimper. Right? She had a little hair crimper. I was like, "Oh, let me use that. Like that's so cute."
Not
like
you
it's,
said you're low.
you know, it's a little broken, but you'll be fine. Just make sure you use it properly. So I was using it, and I crimped my whole hair, and then I broke it completely. Yeah, and I felt so bad that I had no money. So I decided, y'all, please don't judge me. I decided I was gonna hot glue. Yes, I did. I was gonna hot glue the crimpers back
Close
together
over there.
and
Behind
get
the
them to
curtain.
her.
Oh.
And so she's not paying no attention. I'm like, yeah, they are fine. She goes to use them, and then the whole thing just falls apart, right? And all I hear is her bust out laugh, like belly laugh. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, you hot glued these hot ass crippers back together, and yeah, that was that was a pretty embarrassing moment. But I just think that was the funniest thing afterwards. Like, why did I do that? Okay, somebody else, real quick.
What's the question?
An embarrassing moment.
Oh, this happened when I was a kid. Well, like kiddish teenager. Good morning, Dexter. So, I was in the choir, and so like everybody was like, if you don't shout, you ain't got the Holy Spirit and stuff like that. This is when I was a kid. So it was during a service where everybody was shouting, and I felt nothing. But I was like, I paid Tish. I was like, I'm not gonna be the one that everybody like she ain't got the Holy Ghost. So I started to fake shout, and at Mount Ararat, there's rows, but there's spaces between the rows, and I started fake shouting and fell in between.
Oh my gosh!
The space between the benches, but then I played it off. I fell out. I was like, ah!
She was
played it clean out, but everybody in the soprano section knew I fell, like, because it was like that clean split right there. So I played it off to the other sections, but that soprano section, they clowned me. They was like, "We know you fell." I was like, "Whatever."
That is, oh my goodness.
I have
my
an
embarrassing
embarrassing moment.
All right, what's your
Very
embarrassing?
embarrassing.
Oh boy.
I was young, maybe about 14, 15.
I'll suppress
And I went to a sleepover,
Okay.
and at the sleepover there was alcohol. So everybody was like, "Oh, we're gonna take a drink." Mind you, we're 14, 15, maybe 16.
Yeah.
And so I took a drink. First time ever drinking. I didn't know nothing about it. We were so young they were still having hot dogs at the party. No, boiled hot
Those
dogs.
were the days.
Yes.
Those were the days right there.
No,
Let me put these hot dogs.
Right,
on.
like boiled hot dogs. So I ate some boiled hot dogs. Had a drink. I know. All I remember is throwing up
Two.
Oh my gosh.
chunks of boiled hot dogs, and all the kids were around. All the young
Fire 716, your boy Big Frank. You locked into Big
and
Frank
they're like,
in the
"They're-
morning.
They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
Doing a quick audio check to see if you guys can hear me online swiftly.
Young,
Say a word.
trying to be cute. funny.
I think I'm back. Look out, like another level. Listen, y'all know what time it is. It's time for Big Girl Chronicles. It's going down. This is what it is.
Watch out for the big girl. Watch out for the big girl.
Big Girl Chronicles. Beautiful, intelligent, and graceful.
Jay Cherie, it's on you.
What's good, everybody? You already know what time it is. It is Big Girl Chronicles, and on this kind of cold Friday, we were talking about embarrassing moments, but I want to talk about what is it? Your goodness is meeting you at the door. So let me explain what I mean. It's gonna come off churchy, but I love Jesus. So I'm doing a Bible study with my partner, Bible study prep for my partner because we're getting ready to teach Bible study for the next couple of weeks. And there was a scripture that talks about God's goodness going before you. And in the moment of doing the Bible study, I got a little emotional because I was like, this is what's going on in my life right now. God's goodness is truly meeting me at my door.
Yeah.
I got to work. Welcome to the testimony table. I got to work on Wednesday, and I was, told like one of my coworkers like, come in the office, and I was like, okay, what's going on? Like, did I finally make somebody mad and they firing me now? And she was like, so, we got a notice that pretty much the advisement department may no longer exist soon. And I just wanted to give you the heads up because I don't know what's going to happen with your job. And I was like, okay. Like, and she was like, I was like, how are you doing? I was just doing a mental health check on her, making sure she was good. And I walked out the door to go to another department. And I asked another young lady, like, hey, can I talk to you for real quick? And she was like, yeah, sure. As soon as I walked in the door, she was like, don't even worry about it. When they close, you have a job with me.
I know that's right.
And I was like, and doing the Bible study and God's goodness meeting me at my door. It wasn't even that I had to ask for a job.
Yeah.
I literally just walked into a room and the job was waiting for me. And not only that, some blessings came through because I had a good 95 cents in my pocket and some blessings came through to get me not only through the week, but to take care of some other necessary business. And so this is not really like a focus on Jessica type of situation. I just want you to know that God's goodness is literally waiting for you at the door. This is
Come
the
on.
season that all you have to do is just
Preach,
walk
preach.
You know
up.
what?
You have to walk up to the door and be confident that as soon as you get there, the goodness is going to meet you, because we have to stop begging God for stuff that He already promised us. And at this point, God is not going to allow me to be at a job where I'm truly making a difference to not have a job by the end of the semester when God already promised me my tuition was going to be taken care of and I'll be able to be, finish school.
Come on.
So at this point, I just want to encourage you guys to just get to the confidence where you can step to the door and meet your manifestation, meet your goodness, because it is waiting on you. If nothing else I have learned is I just have to get to the door because the goodness is waiting on me. Like I have to stop being in this comfy cove that, you know what, God, I got to ask you. God is like, no, I sent a word and the word says my goodness will meet you. So at this point, you guys, I just want to encourage you to let God's goodness just meet you at the door. All you have to do is just get to the door.
There's a revival coming soon called The Door. No.
And this is your edition of Big Girl Chronicles.
No, but that is so valid and on point that you have to understand that. Listen, I don't care where you are and how you feel. The provision has all. I tell you all the time, God is on you. Listen, you told me a thing. I'm doing my due diligence. I'm being as faithful as I can. I'm being as obedient as I can. What's up? You pushing me? You stretching me? What you gonna do? And the woman of God said, just get to the door. Revival fire the door.
This dude, when I tell you, this dude has been trying to get me in revival for like a month.
What's crazy is I feel like I'm gonna just keep this going. I feel like this is gonna be every time you speak. It's gonna be
And I'm mad because like my pastor does watch this, and eventually this is gonna sit in her spirit. I'm like, no, don't be spiritually manipulated by Frank.
No, but it's all right, we'll try it again. What I will say is though that for anybody to be encouraged to the fact that this is a testament that God has you in conversations that's beyond you.
Yeah.
Bad news. The Bible says this: better is the end of a thing.
Yeah.
So its conclusion is better than its arrival because there's something new coming. But if I'm gonna get out of that. You can't get the new until the first thing ends.
Come on.
That I'm in trouble now. Okay. Sorry for my mufflers. Because what happens is, how can you occupy a new mindset unless the last one ends? How can you transition to the next phase until the last one ends? You got to end a thing before you move it to something else for certain things. Some guys like, I can't give you it because you're still in it. Get out of it. So I'll give you the next phase. But go ahead.
Get out of
Listen,
it.
we're getting ready to get into the question of the day. My homegirl here, Fatima, has something great in store. And we're going to talk about that right after we do the question of the day. And I'm going to try to fix my microphone for the third time online. But it's going down. 5716, your boy Big Frank. We'll be back in a matter of 36 seconds. Don't go nowhere. It's going down.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Dante Miles, aka D Belly, aka your city council. I'm here at Fire 716 Radio. And I'm asking you to tune in on Thursdays at 11 on our show, The Vault. We're going to be having some conversations that's super relevant, but very important. And sometimes it may be a little uncomfortable, but we're going to make sure that we get our voices out. Come tune in on Thursdays at 11 a.m. and make sure you download the Fire 716.
What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Jay Cherie from Big Frank in the Morning on Fire 716. Listen, we calling our artists. If you a singer, if you a rapper, if you got a group, we want you to email your music to the radio station at fire716radio@gmail.com. Not only will we play on the radio, but we'll do an exclusive interview with you. So once again, email your music to fire716radio@gmail.com.
No.
You can definitely do some TikTok stuff.
Don't pause.
I'm sorry.
Words. You ever been hit in the gut unexpectedly? Like you in a whole nother space. And you're like,
Where did that come from?
Yeah.
that's how
Like what Frank just said. Look, like what Frank just said.
Yeah, you know.
1 2 1 2
I
1
don't
2.
like the uncomfortable. Like it's the uncomfortable words. Like it's not I'm in the vein and I know I'm in the vein. It's the we drive in the church give him this word. No, God. I just want to enjoy this worship music right now and just okay. Just I'm trying to be better. Man of God, this is what God is saying. Da, 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 and we're done.
Yeah.
Look over. Oh, that's uncomfortable. It's that like
You just got to tell it.
like Sharita laughed at me because I was like, if I be the semi prophet of God, that God, she was like semi. I haven't embraced the call yet.
I'm like this.
I'm like-
Connect yet.
I'm like here, but there, but kind of in the middle, but like it's present, but I haven't fully
That is
embraced
funny.
it
That's
yet.
Listen, if you guys want to chime in, you can chime in at 716-299-0013. That's 716-299-0013. You can call in as well. And feel free to engage in the content and conversation. We're getting ready to get into the question of the day in just a few moments, in about 60 seconds or so. If you have not downloaded the app, please, I need y'all to download the app and follow us on TikTok. I need 100. I need 100.
You get go fire. Tell them. to hold
Fire
it.
716 Radio on TikTok. Download the app. Also follow us on TikTok. Do it now. You got time. You got 30 seconds. I might have been too much on the mic.
On here too.
Download.
Find the Fire 716 app. That's what it is. Hey, Brianna. On TikTok. I don't know why I keep pausing. I keep thinking, like my brain's not connected. Yes. Mhm.
Fire 716 Radio, your boy Big Frank. You're locked into Big Frank in the morning. That was For the Truth by Karen Harthorne. It's going down this morning. The room is full of love, life, and the people. Getting ready to get into the question of the day. And the question of the day is
What do you struggle more with, asking for help or that's supposed to be doing it all on your own? Not Joey. Good morning, Cherie. Doing it all on your own. It says going, but we're good. You said you got something?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I struggle with doing it all on my own. I need to step back and let God be God.
I know that's right.
She said, "Boop," and that's her nugget.
And that's all period.
That's all period.
I have to step back.
I have, and this is something I'm learning as leadership. I've been people failed me so many times
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
that I've got comfortable doing it on my own. But to be an efficient leader, you must delegate and trust others to handle the task at hand. And that has been difficult. Now, you've heard my conversation over the past with the church folks and all of them, and trying to be the cameraman, trying to be the altar worker, trying to be the elder, trying to be the assistant pastor, trying to be the mop and maker maker, just out here trying to be all
Church
these things.
maintenance
And at this point, I realized, you know what? I'm going to use the team that's here. And if you guys drop the ball, we have to deal with the smoke that comes with ball dropping. But I can't overwhelm myself because if I give you a task to delegate and to trust you and you keep failing me, I got to replace you. And that's just going to be a part of what it is.
Right.
But I'm learning that even now, as a businessman, as an owner, I said, Lord, come on today.
Yeah.
Okay, God, help me. So it's a struggle, but I'm learning. Like I still got documents I got to email to somebody at the table. They're completed now, but I got to email them to you. But there's things I need to do. But to delegate is really been a challenge for me. So something I'm getting into because I got to make my millions. And I can't make it
That's right.
by myself.
I want to make
So,
some of those too.
I would say for me, it is asking for help.
Yeah.
I can do it myself.
Yep.
And that's just, and it's not that I don't have people that aren't willing to help.
Right.
It's just in my mind, I feel like it's faster, and I have a bit of a control issue.
Mhm.
So it's like, if I think I could have somebody else do it, and then it just that little piece in my mind that says, no, they're not going to do it how you do it. Do it yourself.
Yes.
So that's so it's really that I struggle with asking.
Shareem says, I will not ask for help ever. I will figure it out. But God is definitely breaking me down.
Breaker God.
And listen, it's a real thing. Josh says, I have a really hard time delegating as it feels like I'm burdening other people with my responsibilities. I know it's wrong, but it's a hurdle.
But I'm the preacher that I am, it messes up God's plan.
Yeah.
Because I cause men to give unto your bosom I use people to give to you. But if you don't open up your mouth, you'll have that conversation. They don't necessarily know the need to fulfill.
Yep.
Granted, God speaks in his random situations. God, we thank you. But what happens if you open up your mouth? You might get some no's, but you might, oh, I know what you need now. So when I come into mine, I know where to sow mine. But you so I could do it on my own. Like you just, so yeah.
What was you saying, Fatima?
Definitely do it on my own. It may take me a little longer. It may take, some missteps and mishaps, but I would rather do it on my own.
Yeah.
I'm again a control freak, so that that's just plays a serious issue in my life. But if it ain't done right, the only person I can complain
Nobody.
That's real.
I struggle with both.
See?
I can't
about
really
to say
choose because I struggle with both. I do not like asking for help, but I'm also a perfectionist. And that's just because God is working some things out of me right now. And like I was structured that you need to be perfect all the time.
Yeah.
You can't have, if you fall short, that means your spirit is off.
You're going to hell.
So it wasn't even like you're going to hell. It's like I'm questioning your Holy Ghost right now because you're off. Like because you didn't get me my tea when I needed my tea, and if we was in tune with the spirit, you would know that. So like I'm a complete perfectionist. Like I don't like getting a B in school. I just like it's bad. But like God is teaching me in this program, B's get degrees. But like, cause I looked at my workload this semester, I said, oh, this is gonna be B central. I was like, I got straight A's last semester. This is gonna be B's. But like also I don't like asking for help because I was made to feel like a burden when I did.
That's right.
Yes.
And like I started working at 14. Like my dad was one of those, if you want to go get it yourselves. And I was like, say less. So like I had a job at 14 and I worked my whole life. So it was like, you want them sneakers, get them yourself. Say less. You want a car, get it yourself. Why is there a car in my driveway? Because you told me to get it myself.
Yeah.
So like I struggle with like, yo, can I borrow $20 for gas? Like that's a struggle for me. But then God is like breaking me down because I've had to do nothing but trust people and ask people for help in this season. So
and you have to. Cause I recall just needing help in my days of messing up my money. And but there was somebody who was like, he says God always gave me extra, and when He gave me extra, it wasn't for myself.
Yeah,
it was always for somebody. So the fact that your need is the exact extra that I have, lets me know that's designed for you. But if I never had that conversation of the need, look to the hills when it comes to your help. I'm the lender, not the borrower. There are some people who are designed to give to you with no.
That's right.
No,
That's right.
Oh, here you go.
No strings
problem.
attached. That's
Look,
right.
Like, I hate to say some people, everybody's not the same,
That's right. That's
and
right.
you have to
Hey,
know
Sharita.
who you're talking to, who you engage with, who you connected to. Because if you give it to me and then you got to throw it in my face, now we got a problem.
Thank you.
Right. Listen.
Now
My
it's
God,
the
don't
throwing
just
of
keep it.
in the face for me.
Now I got to expose you in the spirit. You trifling, good for nothing, low down. Now I got to deal with you accordingly. Yeah, but then there's a season where God doesn't allow certain people to be a blessing.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Because I want you to know that you're going to get this from me. Because what happens is that sometimes we use the help as a crutch, and just because you went there last time, then you can go there this time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you went, oh, you was there with for me last time. I'm coming to you again, and now they become your source, and you've neglected the fact that God is the ultimate source. And sometimes He got to pull stuff out of you, because sometimes, like I said, money's just an inconvenience. But the help that you need, sometimes you possess it. But if you're never put in a position for the need, it's never pulled out of you. Yeah. Like you don't know how to what they call MacGyver, or how we Jimmy rig it, or how to make something happen. Because I want you to, it's inside of you. For example, I didn't think I knew how to delegate, but because there's a need for it, I have to now become it. Right. So it's like, hey, I need help. I need somebody to manage this and to manage that to be successful, because I personally don't have the capacity to execute these tasks. So you gotta,
and plus, like, God had to break me of making a plan. Like my sister is online, so she knows. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make a plan. And like she'd be like, or you could just trust God, and I'd be like, God is using me to make a plan. Like
He gave me the plan.
I will always, and then God was not giving me a plan. I would completely overwork myself.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do these doubles and I'm gonna take care of this, and I'm gonna do this, and that way when I get this big, I already know what this check gonna look like because I've worked 40 hours over than my 80 hours, so I'm gonna just do this, and the plan. There she go. Like I will always have a plan, and sometimes it will work, and then there were times where it was like, yeah, the money came, and then something else happened. And God was just like, if you don't get to the point where you just trust me,
Listen.
like I will shake the very foundations. It was to the point that the people that I was comfortable asking for help with, they either weren't able to help me or God told them not to. And it was just like, you gonna trust dang it, you gonna trust me. Like, and if you don't, like, I'm gonna keep making it inconvenient for you until you trust me.
Because God does it better.
She said she had a plan for a plan in the back of plan. I did.
We will exhaust ourselves trying to do a thing that God said, I got you. What you mean? Sit. I got you. Nobody told you to work 3 doubles. Nobody told you how to flip that money. Nobody told you had to be worried about who about to come get you because you done borrowed the bag from the bag maker. You done did a thing. Now you in church scared and can't worship because you don't know we about to come pull up on you because you're not trusting the process. You're not trusting what I got a plan for you, and I got the wealth of the wicked laid up for the righteous.
Yes, he does.
I'm gonna handle that for you.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of the drug dealer coming to church, having to pull up on the preacher man because he don't borrow the funds, and now you can't pay him back, and now you're in trouble. This is a storyline that's too common. Okay, let God be who He is. Because I'm also know of a man who got money from a drug situation, but he didn't ask for it. It was a seed sown.
Yeah.
I'm not coming back for this.
Right.
I'm not checking you for this. Right. But that's because God has a plan that super exceeds what you gonna do. You out here exhausting yourself, and now you tired, and now you mad, and now you frustrated, now you unhappy, now you unsatisfied, now you want to blame God, now you have to other God. I just can't sit down like I told you to. Because they that wait upon the Lord,
be still.
That's what I got to say. Good morning.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Like y'all said, I don't like asking for help and then it get thrown back.
Come on.
Right.
And it's like it's not even like a heavy like chin check throwing back at you, but it's just like I just did this and I did this.
And I don't mention
hold on, stop.
Destroying me.
I ain't asked you for none of this. Like if I do ask, don't bring it up. Like granted, I got to take the smoke that come with asking.
Absolutely.
So if you talk about me asking, cool. I ain't really got no problem because I'm in need right now.
Yeah.
But if I don't ask and you just come, don't offer up this narrative as if I'm a burden because not once did I ask you for your help. But when I do ask, it's like if I feel like a burden myself, so I try not to. When I do ask, it's like, all right, let me figure out a way to get it just in case.
Yeah.
And then because I'm trying to get it just in case, the door that was open is closed now.
Yeah.
Because I just can't wait. I can't wait. So I'm going here, I'm going there. Lo and behold, they can't help me.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's just like that.
Yeah.
What you do now?
And then now that deals with your morale because
valid.
The doors that you see are closed. You feel some type of like, dang, nobody can help. If you just waited, like I told you, and just hold on, like I told you, I'm the door.
Yeah. Right.
There's a revival coming called The Door.
like real talk. I knew I grew into maturity because I had a situation. Some of the people at this table know what happened with that situation, and the person that has been helping me on this journey threw it in my face. I've been helping you, and normally my mouth would have been reckless with this individual, but God is dealing with me, and I said to the person, if you stop, God is still gonna make the way. So it's really not about you. And like the look on their face was just like, what? If you stop doing what you said God called you to do, He's still gonna make the way without you. So it's really not about you. You're just the vessel that God chose to use in this season.
When the no can't say no.
Listen,
narcissists love to make codependence.
And it wasn't even that. It was like I'm gonna tell you what I've done for you. No, God just used you to do that. But if you do stop, like don't threaten me with what if I stop? God's still gonna make the way, and then you're gonna be embarrassed because you thought it was really about you.
Don't block your blessings. Helping somebody and then throwing it back up in their face.
No valid.
Because I feel like that's just not even just that, but we're having intentions under your intentions.
Yeah.
To help somebody. If you're really gonna help someone, help them. Like,
Valid, valid.
that's just
Out the pureness of your heart.
Yeah.
But see, when the people and they know they be wrong,
Mhm.
because then they come back around. I just said this. They try to dog you out, but then they come around and try to make it sweet again
Mhm.
by overdoing and over caring. I call it.
Yeah.
Hey, you need what you got? You want something? You need this?
That's
I'm
that
good,
conscience
bro.
kicking in.
Fact. You should have said yes the first time. Because now you're gonna come around and talk about this time,
Yeah.
and now I'm gonna have to tell you again. It's
Yeah.
not about you. I didn't need you. I just asked you.
Right. Valid.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
I definitely struggle with asking people for help.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want anyone to throw anything into my face.
Yeah.
I want anyone looking at me like I'm irresponsible or give me that talking to that obviously know I did
Oh,
something wrong.
you right here.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
I see.
Yeah. Right, right. You know, sometimes honestly to be keep it real, like sometimes things happen to me, I'm like, man, I punish myself or allow myself to go through it.
Mhm.
I remember I remember one time this is back in the day, I went to a club, parked in the parking lot, split paper parking. I was like, nah. So
I've been there. I get it. I get it.
I was like, negative. No, not doing it. So,
Yeah, tickets in the car.
so I came out, my car was gone.
That's not funny, but
dang.
And I
that.
was like, oh, they just gonna give me a ticket. You know what I'm saying? Nah, they told that joint. They booted, then told. That's how long I was in the club. So I'm like, man, my car's stolen.
That's how long I was
Yo,
in the club.
Called the cops. They was like, nah, they told that joint. I'm like, dang. And I was, I'm at the club, and it's people I know that's there, and I was like, man, I'm too embarrassed to ask for a ride. I walked home from downtown Buffalo all the way to Central Park. I walked home straight down Main Street. Yeah, jewelry and all. I was scared as ever because people were slowing up. People were circling. I had to duck through some bushes.
So that's,
Morning, Lante.
yeah, good morning, cousin. That's definitely a thing because not asking for help will put you in a position that you don't have to be in.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
I was legit homeless, but didn't have to be.
Ditto.
There was no reason for me. I didn't have to be living in my 1994 van. Lumina Lucille, come on, Lucille, how you been? Okay, okay. She had flashing lights on the inside, beats in the back, but we were sleeping. Okay, but it's only because I was unwilling to let people know about my need or my vulnerability because I kept pretending as if everything was okay. I kept entertaining. I kept doing the events. I kept going to church. I kept doing my thing. I kept going to Canada.
That's what's up.
You know, sleeping on the floor of my van, hiding from the school kids so they wouldn't see me. But that's only because I didn't open up to have that conversation of help. And sometimes we put pressure on us for our silence than life does itself. So like you didn't have to walk. Clearly somebody would have just. But the way it made me feel
Yeah.
hurts, and that's a whole other conversation
Getting
for
your
real.
car repoed is a different kind of hurt, bro.
It is, yo.
To hear the sound,
Listen,
You see those drag
hear it
marks?
hit like watching my
That's
car
so
get
sweet.
repoed made me nervous every time I hear a tow truck coming down the street. Like it's like a trigger. Like I know my car is paid for. Just
Oh, let's read these comments real quick.
That's late that one day paying
That's why I want to help.
that one day late.
Sheree said people often want to help you so they can take the credit or hold it over your head. When
Yeah.
you become successful. You have to pray and discern when you are in need as to who should help you. Don't be desperate. That will cause unwise.
Absolutely.
People want to hide hide an investment
No,
under
that
help.
was
Yeah.
silent investment. One of the worst things for me to hear is somebody complaining about how they had to do something for me. I will never ask that person for anything.
Never, never,
No,
never,
that's
never,
real, bro.
never.
That's very real.
No, that's. I'm not.
Don't do
You
it
got
for
one
the
time.
money.
Feel free. But I'm petty because I told you I'm spiritually inclined. Okay, don't come for me like that. Because I'm liable to write a full post with details and screenshots.
Oh no.
And excuse me, let us not forget. Okay, no.
Jesus, I'll not forget.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, so one of the things that I had learned this year, which spiraled, because I tell Tiva all the time, I tell Frank all the time of how we even met in the first place.
Relevant.
I started doing this prayer basically where I was asking God to give me wisdom, give me understanding of that wisdom, and that I go out and I help the people that He set out for me to help,
Yeah.
and that it's pleasing to Him. That's it. That is the goal. Because through helping and through asking God to show me who I'm supposed to help, like He'll send them to you.
Yeah.
And when you do these things, that not only gets them to their goal, but that also exalts you where you need to be. So I'm when you try to help people and then you try to throw it back in their face and you try to act a certain kind of way, like you are blocking your blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
people really need to understand that. You know, but it is what it is. People are gonna be people.
Valid.
Yeah.
You know?
Valid. Listen, it's your boy Big Frank. You're locked in the Big Frank in the morning. We're getting ready to get into a conversation with a friend of mine, really cousin. Hey cousin, Patina Matthews. So we'll be right back in just 60 seconds. Listen to this commercial. We'll be right back on Fire 716, Big Frank in the morning.
Unfortunately, African Americans are 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non-Hispanic whites, according to the U.S. Department of Health Services. My name is Fatima Matthews, and I am a congestive heart failure patient. I am taking my life-changing experience of having died on the table and being revived to help educate others on the topic of heart health. And I am inviting you to attend my luncheon on February 18th at 11 a.m. at the Underground Railroad Heritage Center right here in Niagara Falls, New York. I will be speaking, and I will be joined by Dr. Ephraim Chaudhry of Trinity Health Group, Dr. Jeffrey Alexis from the University of Rochester Strawn Memorial Hospital, and Dr. Mike, a diversity, equity, and inclusion specialist at Independent Health. I am looking forward to seeing you at the luncheon on February 18th at 11 a.m. at the Underground Railroad Museum located at 825 Depot Avenue in Niagara Falls, New York. Tickets can be purchased at Eventbrite. Search Annual Strong Heart to Soul Luncheon. I can't wait to see you there.
Fire 716, your boy Big Frank. You're locked into Big Frank in the morning. You're going to have a conversation with my cousin, my friend, my sister girl. Fatima. And Fatima, real quick, just tell us a little bit about yourself, just what you got going on, just who you are.
So, hello everyone. My name is Fatima Matthews, and I'm a congestive heart failure patient. I am a mother, and I am a Christian as well. But I am here to answer, help discuss heart disease, heart failure with the community. I went through an experience, to say the least,
Yes.
and God is good. So I am here, and I made it my mission to help other people in our community to deal with heart disease and heart failure and things of that nature.
Yeah. I had the privilege of meeting Fatima in our business class as well as DeAndre. And it was really a great place to meet, and brought some clarity to the dream and the vision of the radio station and making things proper, and so that it can prosper well. And as she just developed her, and she was the winner. Okay, she was somebody.
Yes. Yes.
She had to win
Yes.
a winner. I think the prize was, I'm gonna get out the finances, but it was a sufficient amount.
Right.
Yeah, sufficient amount, and she brought this to the table. And I remember just our conversation, trying to figure out how is this going to be presented, and how is it going to be given. And I think that you are doing an awesome job as a representative, even thus far. And now here we go. It be these moments like this that get in trouble. So I believe in deja vu, and for me, deja vu is not the spooky who I consider to be a marker to say that this moment was already set up at a set time, and the fact that you arrived to this place lets you know that you're on point.
Okay.
That's how I process deja vu. So, not knowing where I was years ago, I had this vision, this conversation, and the fact that the flyer was here. At the time, I didn't know who you were. So the flyer was here, and this was happening, but I just didn't comprehend it at that time. But I just had a little deja vu moment to let you know that we are right on task, despite all things. That we are right on task. But you have an event coming up. Tell us more, about the event you have coming up.
Yes, so I have what is called a Lunch and Learn. It is coming up on February 18th at 11 a.m. To 2 p.m. at the Underground Railroad Heritage Center here in Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm.
So it is Heart Month. February is Heart Month, and it's also Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to put the two together, and we're going to learn some things
Absolutely.
about us.
Yes.
Yes.
We are going to be able to ask some questions and get some answers right there in front of you. We're going to learn a lot of information about how your body works and um, the African American community, not just African Americans,
Yeah.
not just minorities. Anyone is welcome to come. If you have a question, you can definitely ask. But the bottom line is we want to educate the masses
Mhm.
about heart health prevention, things that you can do starting today that may save your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we never know what may happen. I didn't know that I was going to have this situation, this heart situation that came about through pregnancy. And everybody thinks that pregnancy is a huge blessing, it's a wonderful thing. And it is. But you still have to take care of
Say
yourself.
that.
Yeah.
Say
You
that.
still have to ask questions. You still have to advocate for yourself. So I am taking what happened to me and helping other people.
Yeah. Yeah. And just she's somebody, okay? You know, you got a humble. She on cover magazines. I'm snitching. She's somebody.
Yes.
She's a spokesperson for Red Cross Red Cross Blue Shield. Look at me, just red, white paper.
American Heart Association.
American Heart Association. So she's really on the move and doing great things. I would encourage everybody just to come and support. You can go to Eventbrite and annual Strong Heart to Soul luncheon for tickets as well. Just support the event. I get everybody's timing is different, but come out and support because that conversation is needed. Because I believe my sister-in-law had to deal with some heart situations in her pregnancy. So these things are more common than we think, and if you're not prepared for it, it can be life threatening.
Absolutely. One thing that I do want to say is that a lot of times when you think of heart situations, you think of the elderly.
Yeah.
And that's just how it is. We were
Yeah.
always taught that, heart attacks happen to old people.
Hmm.
But that is not the case anymore. Um, Mid-age people, 20 years old, 40 years old,
Wow.
that is the age group that is seeing a large difference in heart disease. For instance, you know, we all see that, watch that
Yeah.
on television,
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately. And thank God we all got together and prayed for that young man. But he is an example where you could be young, you could be healthy. There was no red flags there.
Hmm.
Right.
And something happened.
Wow.
And unfortunately, it's young babies every day out playing basketball on
Mhm.
the court or on the football field, and they drop.
Yeah.
And we don't know why. So we need to start today by educating ourselves, educating our family, educating our community, so that we can know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it.
And for more information, you can definitely make sure you come to the event February 18th, 2023 from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And tickets are sold online at eventbrite.com. That is 825 Depot Avenue in Niagara Falls, New York. All right, so make sure you guys tap in. It's going down. Big Frank in the morning. When we get back, we'll get into
Church
mess
mess.
right here on Fire 716.
Unfortunately, African Americans are 30% more likely to die from heart disease than non Hispanic whites, according to the U.S. Department of Health Services. My name is Fatima Matthews, and I am a congestive heart failure patient. I am taking my life changing experience of having died on the table and being revived to help educate others on the topic of heart health. And I am inviting you to attend my luncheon on February 18th at 11 a.m. at the Underground Railroad Heritage Center right here in Niagara Falls, New York. I will be speaking, and I will be joined by Dr. Ephraim Chaudhry of Trinity Health Group, Dr. Jeffrey Alexis from the University of Rochester Strawn Memorial Hospital, and Dr. Mike, a diversity, equity, and inclusion specialist at Independent Health. I am looking forward to seeing you at the luncheon on February 18th at 11 a.m. at the Underground Railroad Museum located at 825 Depot Avenue in Niagara Falls, New York. Tickets can be purchased at Eventbrite. Search Annual Strong Heart to Soul Luncheon. I can't wait to see you there.
That's because the commercial was playing, Daniel. That's why. He said y'all sound in and out because the commercial was playing.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to fix it so that next week when I pot down, y'all all just sit everywhere, and I have to pot you up and hit the button for me.
I didn't want to do TikTok. Frank made me. He was like, "No, because you need a TikTok because they need BGC and they need to follow you." Okay.
Yeah.
And I just started doing TikToks after that, but mostly it was driven by my job
So
and raggedy students.
I won't tell the whole story, but I was going through like a tough situation, and I was like, well, maybe I could make some extra money on TikTok, so let me just try it.
Mhm.
And that's really what got me into it. And then I just started like I got a little obsessive because when I do new things, I always get obsessive. So I got a little obsessive with it, and I was really trying to learn how to master it. So I have this page. I have another page called Random Board Shit. I had to say it like that because I don't know why. And so on that page, I was just posting like different things to see what worked. So that page, I was able to get 3 viral videos and then grew the account. But then I was like, I want to do that for myself. So I started doing the TikTok for myself and then do it, posting them on Facebook. So I do, you can make money.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got monetized on Facebook first. Facebook pays out pretty okay. Like, I got a couple extra $100 every month on
Mhm.
Facebook. Yeah. That is actually something that
Come on, promote the beat. Come on,
Come out,
promote.
girlfriend. Come out, girlfriend. Come out, girlfriend.
I definitely want to go over like just different things. We'll have to make some time, and we'll discuss things first before I start charging. So for sure. But yeah, and it's crazy because I've only been doing it really since May, like March, April, May. March or April, I posted some stuff. May to now is when I've been like like really been going
Content
after it.
creator.
So that's yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it. I'm telling you.
And she does a great job.
Thank you.
No,
Yeah.
valid.
I was on
valid.
TikTok last night. I was like, let me go to the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely on point. Yo, valid.
Thank you. Thank you.
Scared of y'all.
I'm trying to get on that ship though.
Oh,
But
the
they don't want to mess with me though.
I haven't done the shit, but I have done the like if you need followers, put like teamwork, and I've like put in teamwork, and then people have like more people started to follow me on TikTok, and so like and then like the whole
no, there's
Like
a like on okay, so on
Black
TikTok
girl.
they have like a black girl follow train,
yeah,
and it's basically this cap cut filter that you can use, and you just put your picture or a video, and then it's like it cuts the person out with a specific sound, you put text and stuff, and then people are supposed to follow you.
yeah.
So that's kind of how, like, that's how that works. And it works for some people. I just didn't do it because I'm like, that's not my audience. So I'm not even gonna try. But it's really like I would say the biggest thing for TikTok is using or finding sounds. That's number one. And then the second thing is figuring out what it is, what kind of content you're creating. Like for me, I post a lot of plus size, that's really it. Plus size content. Yeah, I've been posting a little bit more of my
30 seconds.
photography, different things like that. But I guess because photography's so close to me, I'd be scared to be vulnerable with TikTok with my artwork.
Oh, do that.
I've
You'd be surprised.
I feel like I get more like for Instagram.
Okay.
I feel more comfortable doing it there on Facebook. But TikTok,
10
I mean,
seconds.
it's just men's. That's watching me on TikTok. So.
Fire 716, your boy Big Frank. You locked in the Big Frank in the morning. That was Jennifer Lopez. But if you had my love, it's 7 minutes past the top of the hour.
Dun,
It's
dun.
going down. It's lit. It's fire. It's a vibe. Yeah, it's just.
Peace, cuz. Peace.
Yeah,
Dun,
what
dun.
Kevin said. Peace, guys. Peace. There's people. We're broadcasting on YouTube and on Facebook, as well as TikTok. We out here in these streets, all right?
Yes.
And we are on the app. So if you have not, please do me a favor. Download the app. Need your app support as well. Download the app. It's free download. Android, Apple devices. Download it. Click on it once a day, twice a day, 3 times a day. It's a vibe.
It's a vivid.
It's a vivid. It's a vibe. It is still in there. It is still in there. We just haven't used it. And you have to
Haven't
use
used
it.
the-
Cowboys on that one.
Right, we got to dust. We did because the vivid and the vibe was a really good intro.
Listen,
That should be our like
this segment, I got you.
So we got to find it because we got to drop that.
Or it could be our coming in, coming out. Huh? No. Every time we break. Coming in, coming out.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Regular.
Got you.
Yeah.
But it's going down. We got Church Mess.
Church mess. So the first church mess said a pastor. This is very loaded for so many reasons. A pastor who temporarily died reveals he went to hell. That's the first part. And demons were singing Rihanna's Umbrella as a torture. I have this is a lot to unpack.
Yes.
First of all, you're a pastor. You're a pastor that died, and then you're a pastor that died and went to hell. Let's unpack that real quick. Sir of God, in the words of my sister, what life was you living that you died
He
and
went to
went to
sleep
hell?
listening to Rihanna. And it-
And then he said it was Rihanna's Umbrella that was used as a torture song. And for me, I thought it would have been Shine Bright Like a Diamond. But so much to say, Sir of God. I hope that you got yourself together when you woke up from this hellish dream. Because if you died and went to hell and you're a pastor, so many questions.
Surprise.
It could have been. It could have been God testing him, giving him a glimpse of his to come. What's at his door?
Brother,
If you don't change his ways, you know.
can you imagine?
My God.
Ella, 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 Ella. Just what is happening here? Like, what is going on?
So like
I
you're
see
under
this-
hell's umbrella? Is that what's
So
going
I
on
read the article
here?
yesterday, and I was like, first off, about the hell part, like you pastor, what you doing? You some ain't clicking,
Valid.
Steven.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. That's scary. I will wake up from that dream and be I've had dreams. I have all
Like, and then what was your process here? Like, did you go to God and he said, "Depart from me, workers of iniquity,
Right.
hellfire"?
Right.
Like, or did you just
wake up in fire?
Oh,
Like
yes.
you didn't even get it to go past. Like
Right.
didn't collect $200, no bottle of water, nothing. Just woke up there.
I got questions because now, okay, what hell? I don't know. I just can't.
yeah.
What does hell look like down there? Like,
Right.
what is the
Right.
visual?
So many
Because what if it's not like? What if it looks like when you walk out your door? You feel me? And instead of it being fire everywhere,
Mhm.
like Niagara Falls is fire, but everywhere else is just super hot, dry,
Right.
and just like
Come on, Conspire.
Just-
Come on.
I was about to
Oh,
say
no, no.
conspiracy
Come on,
theory.
conspiracy.
That's how you know what's crazy because I was just thinking like I'm about to make that an AI art. That's exactly what I thought about.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Y'all may not agree with me on this one. I just don't think that, on my knowledge and understanding of the Bible, that hell, we don't go to hell or heaven right when we die.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that. So it's more of just like I feel like that's just more of a warning. This is a warning for you, letting you know the Lord is trying to let you know whatever you're doing, stop right now. And when God gives you dreams, listen,
Valid.
they're for a reason. He ain't just telling you this just because.
It's not just because you ate Cheetos before you went.
Exactly.
Right.
And then, on the
Right.
conspiracy
That's what I
side,
used
as
to tell
far as the
myself.
conspiracy side,
Don't eat
I
Hot
would say
Pockets
it's just
before you go to sleep.
Rihanna. She did declare herself, princess of the Illuminati.
Mm.
And she does. Oh yeah. Even in her one of her songs, it's like a news article type thing that's on there. There's all types of stuff. She is in that
pushes it.
world. Yeah, she's in that world. So it doesn't surprise me that her song is playing in hell.
But what are the words? What are the words of Umbrella that this whole torture is?
Maybe hell is the song that you hate the most.
Oh, that's it.
That's it's in his own loop.
Yeah.
Just
Maybe the umbrella is
Could you imagine Christmas
devil's
music
umbrella.
24/7?
Oh, yeah. And they dancing to it.
like
Yeah, right.
I love you,
exactly.
Mariah.
Yeah,
Doing a
they
thriller to
dancing
Christmas
it.
music.
But like,
That'd be
I
crazy.
do believe that God sends a warning. I've had a dream about missing the rapture and what that looks like.
Wow.
I got my life together after that.
I had a
But like, I do, for the man of God, I do hope like it was a warning for you, good sir. Get right, or you're gonna get left. But yeah, that to me, I was like the Umbrella song, but maybe that is his form of torture. Like he
Yeah.
seriously hates
No,
that song.
But they got a lot of songs to choose from.
Right.
I would say
About
the
millions of years of songs.
maybe the umbrella song is in reference to the devil. I mean, that's the only thing I could think. Because whose umbrella is you under if you're in hell?
I want to look up the words now to umbrella and see what they say. But for me, I've been scared by the Lord, not through a dream. I was reading Left Behind books, and I was watching the movies Left Behind, and my mom and dad decided to leave the house and leave their house coat just on not intentionally. They was just like their house coat was just like it was like on the couch, like they were sitting there, but they wasn't there, and I was like, "Where he at?" They didn't answer the phone. I called my grand. Yeah, it was a situation. It's like, boy, what you talking about?
That's like falling asleep and ain't nobody home when you wake up.
Right.
Like, that was a little scary for me. And I was like, God, I'm here for you for a little while.
You know how many lace fronts is gonna be left on the ground when the rapture happens?
Yo, I can't wait for that.
I need y'all to bring.
See,
I don't
all
know.
that work you did down there trying to look cute. And
I
looking
need somebody
terrible
to
on your way
do
up.
a TikTok of the rapture. It should be hair,
Lashes,
it
nails.
should be the butt.
Plastic
It
surgery.
should be the
the tummy
A
tuck.
couple fat transfers left on the ground.
all your fat body
I
wraps.
ain't mad at that fat transfer. Don't
That
worry
is
about it.
crazy.
All the fat body wraps.
Just
on
like,
there.
dang, you had all.
I'm not even mad.
I'm not mad at
That was
the
real.
about
Oh, wait,
you.
don't forget the men in
The beard. Just imagine your beard
Oh,
just
the-
not going.
the fake beards.
Like, dang, my beard
Some
didn't make
people
it.
pick it up and it's a fake booty and some pants. Just,
Y'all is crazy.
but nah, that was church mess, and then
Let's talk about it.
Bishop Carlton Pearson,
Oh, okay.
most notably known as the fallen bishop in his church and in the church. Yeah, he is called the fallen bishop. So when they list all the bishops at the end, they say Bishop Carlton Pearson, the fallen bishop.
Okay.
That's his actual
That's
name.
mean.
Like, but he
I
is
get it, but that's
falling
me.
from grace.
like fallen, like he gone. Yeah, like so. So how he became the fallen bishop is that he basically said there's no heaven and hell, and some of his beliefs kind of shifted. So in his Reformation, he is known as the fallen bishop. But Larry Reed did an interview with him because that's his home dizzle. Yes, and so
Yes.
Carlton Pearson says that you don't choose to be gay. Which connects to another interview that somebody did with Larry Reed, where Larry Reed came out as a pansexual. So he finds people that agree with
All
him,
right.
pretty much. So
Let me-
Carlton Pearson basically said, for a person to say to somebody, "You chose to be gay," means I had the option to be gay and I chose not to. So are we really choosing to be gay? And I'm like, good sir,
And you know what?
we know you out there. So.
You may not like me, but let's go here. Because I'm gonna talk about this, and you whether you like it or not, life is real. There's choices, and there's experience for everybody. You have a choice to engage or not to engage. Something's happened to you that you don't have any control over, that you don't have any. It happened to you, therefore. For example, Larry Reed himself has been touched, so he was accustomed to playing with peen because as a kid, that's how they used him like that.
Right.
So now he tried it. Oh, this is not really for me. I've been out there a couple times, whatever the case may be. But he finds himself battling between the attraction of both male and female.
Okay.
So now this is a toil that I have within me. It's like, dag, to a degree, do I understand it as far as the extent of experiences? This is my battle. This is my fight. What I give into or what I take control is a different situation. I think that Carlton Pearson is out of pocket as far as having a hell situation because you can't rearrange the book to fit your appetite. There are consequences, and as much as God is love, God is truth. And one thing that we don't highlight about love is that love has a wrath to it.
Yeah.
That listen, because I love you, you must suffer these consequences. Because I love, how can I let you come in and taint those that I love? There's consequences to actions. The sin, period. The wages of sin is death, period. And I'm going to talk about this. We talked about this thing on Monday. Your heart posture makes a difference as well. But Larry Reed, Jehovah help us all. But he has kids. He's been married. He's been out there. But then my question is, are you fornicating now or what?
Well, see, when I saw the interview that they were doing of Larry Reed,
Mhm.
because this was the interview he did with Carlton Pearson, but I also saw another interview where two guys were interviewing him. And that's when he came out pansexual. For those who don't know what pansexual is, it basically means that you're sexually attracted to people no matter the gender. So he was saying,
Go ahead. No.
so when they asked him about it, he was just like, yes, I did,
Gay fellatio to males.
yes. He was like, and so the guy asked, he was like, well, is that why you identified as pansexual? Did you enjoy it? He was like, I'm not gonna say I enjoyed it. He's like, what I'm gonna say is I was good at it. And so I'm like, good sir.
But he was saying that he was good at it because he's been doing it.
He had
practice.
so I
practice
had
from
so
his
much
childhood,
practice. I'm
from
good at it.
Being molested.
But the giving was not his thing. I guess he was a receiver, not a giver. But for my thing people, please feel free to chime in. For me, I will say this: because of what happened to me as a child, my choice was the lesser of two evils. I was molested by women and men in the same within 4 years. I was molested by like 4 or 5 people within the same year. Some women, some men. So when I came into my own decision of sexuality, women were less uncomfortable in the molestation. So for me, I was like, okay, well, I've always thought women are pretty because I'll tell somebody, oh, you're pretty. So I put my 2 and 2 became 4. This was less uncomfortable, and I thought women were pretty. This is the lifestyle I was called to be. So I made that choice. Do I believe that generational curses happen and a person can have proclivities? Absolutely. But to say a heterosexual male decided, you know what, I'm choosing to be straight is dumb. If you have proclivities, that's you have to deal with the fact that proclivities are there and find the root of that. Some people just be like, I was born this way and just go with
that
it.
Don't make, that makes sense because to say that I didn't choose crack doesn't mean I thought about choosing crack. Like the fact that I've decided not to engage in something, I say it's a choice, doesn't mean that I had it in front of me. Oh, I chose not to do crack. I don't want to do that. But then to say, I just don't like the way you put it together. Right. To say that because you say it's a choice, mean that I decided to choose. No, that's not what I'm saying. And you can't make up a scenario, as we do often here on the station. Make up a scenario, then try to sell it to a people. My mind's at heresy, but that's just foul.
Big Frank, I'm curious. Have you ever had, just a quick sidebar, the opportunity to do crack and chose otherwise?
Cocaine, yes, but crack, no. Crack wasn't presented to me, but it's present. If I want to go get it, I can go get it.
Hello.
If I want to go, I watch Just Mathis every day.
Because it was like I could have been a crackhead, but I just chose not to smoke crack. Like that's like for me, it was kind of just like, you know what? Like for me, it was a situation of this is what I'm dealing with, so I'm gonna find somebody to confirm my feelings. To make me feel comfortable in what I'm in. And this is human nature.
Yes.
We are going to find people when we want to do something, we're going to find people that's going to be like, it's okay to do that. Girl, it's okay to have sex outside of marriage because you don't want to test drive. You got to test drive the car before you buy it. No, God knows you and God knows he's the manufacturer. He knows what you need. Like we thought this is what humans do. And I'm not going to knock Larry Reed for having this conversation with Carlton Pearson. He said he's one of his mentors. That's one of his people, but it's just the fact that it's messy because it is under the guides of the church, 1, and 2, it's further condoning people, finding people to be okay with sin with. It's like, oh, okay, girl, you sin? Yeah, girl, I do the same sin. So let's be cool and sin together.
Yeah.
That's what it's presenting. And this is something that the church has been trying to battle against for years, that sin camaraderie is not cool.
We're all born.
I mean, the devil did gather up 1/3 of heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, so did
if he can fit
the devil and his homeboys. That's what you were saying.
Do it.
But go ahead.
We all born in the sin, so I kind of make disagreements on this, but I kind of believe that we're all born in the sin. In certain sins, we're more prone to doing.
Absolutely.
So you may be born in. All of us are going to have to deny sin.
Absolutely.
For the wages of the death, right? So, but we're all prone to stuff. Like you may have an anger problem. You may have you may have a homosexual problem. You know what I'm saying? You may have a stealing problem. You may steal. You may lie. You may cheat. We all have things that we go to, right? Or that we're more prone to go to. That's what being born in sin is.
Right.
The problem comes in is that when we look at other people's sin and be like, this is worse than mine.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? And homosexuality is one of the things you just kind of point out. Like,
Yeah.
as soon as you see somebody, I mean, excuse me, as soon as you see somebody swaying in the church, you're like, I know what you're doing.
Right.
Meanwhile, you're a liar.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Or meanwhile, you're doing the same thing. That's, you know what I mean?
Right.
You just know how to cover it up better, right?
No, that's real.
So, you know, that's why I kind of lean to. Right.
But I've
Yes, sir.
always
That's
said
why God
this.
said all sins are the same, right?
I've always said this. The reason why they're coming for the homosexuals so hard is because our forefathers swept this under the rug for so long instead of addressing it
Right.
and then using their gifts to grow churches. And now it's like, oh my God, now it's out of control. No, if we had dealt with this in the past and not made it as acceptable in the past, we wouldn't be trying to go
You know,
so hard for it.
I
now.
don't think that we even made it acceptable in the past. I believe that, I said before, that to build we needed people to help and they were willing.
Right.
And because they were willing, we used them. Because who else was going to direct the choir? Because I wasn't
Right,
willing.
right.
Who else was going? I want the sound to be a certain kind of thing, but everybody wasn't willing. We're looking for somebody to be down. And unfortunately, I'm looking at McDonald's, not random, that a lot of the McDonald's management be real suspicious, but they execute their task well. I need to use I know you struggle. I know you got, but I need to use your benefit. I need to use what you bring to the table. And then as a leader, we need to have a discussion about sin. Period. Across the board. And the only challenge that you have between your sin and my sin is that yours present differently than mine.
That's right.
When I steal, it don't present a certain kind of way. You got to know that I steal.
Yeah.
You got to have information that I steal, or that you got to know that what I got on you had once upon a time. Like, you got to know those things. But there is a presentation of flamboyancy that comes with, or masculine that comes with the presentation of living an alternate lifestyle. But that too can be an error. Because just because I'm feminine don't makes me homeless.
That's right. You're right.
Just because,
Feminine, yeah.
listen, I'm snitching on myself. For example, Frankis doesn't live an alternate lifestyle. I love what I love. I love who I love. That's why I love it. But what it is my mannerism. I grew up in a house. My grandmother, my aunt, my cousin. They're all females. I was back there. Coming. I was there. They was, oh, Frank, you switching you walk. I just walk. What do you mean? Like, I'm not trying to do anything or project any kind of narrative, but I'm just in the way. And also, there's so many layers to this. Because it's also about life experiences.
That's true.
Who accepts me? Who doesn't? What I've been through? Who dealt with me? What if I feel? I've been more accepted by the males, so I'm gonna rock with the males. I've been more accepted by the females, I'm gonna rock with the females. And I pick up habits by my surroundings. These things happen, and it's psychological, it's mental stuff. There's so many components, but guess what? That's okay, because my God says, "I come to renew your whole mindset."
Right.
So, despite the experiences of where you are, I'm coming to rearrange the way that you think, the way that you move, that you can be the best that I called you to be, and what you're going through. And guess what? You got to drop off some stuff. Things that you love to do, things that you like to do, you have to drop them off. And that's going to be who you make love to, how you make. Listen, you're affectionate. I know who you are.
Right.
I know that you're dirty. I know you got challenges, but my question is, are you willing to change for me?
Yes,
because if you love me, you keep my commandments. I'm not saying you perfect. No. Not saying you got to be a certain kind of way. But what I'm saying to you is that I want to change your life. And my God, in his infinite wisdom, says, I'm trying to preserve you from certain traumas that you ain't got to experience.
You don't have to go through it.
But because you chose to do your thing and you let your flesh speak louder than my spirit, got you. We still in a pattern. I know people who have come out of the lifestyle, who's battled with the lifestyle, who's trying to figure out, God, how do I shake this? And also people who in it and like, we good. But I can't control your heart posture.
That's right.
I can't control what there's people who I know preaching the gospel in both different bedrooms. But I can't control I can strengthen my brother. I can tell you a thing. But at the end of the day, you got to make a decision and a choice. I'm not your coverer. I don't cover you. So wherever your cover's been, because some of the no, get out of that. Because some of the people that's operating is playing with the covers of the covering.
They got the wrong cover.
Because I had a bishop ask me, they was like, because they knew my story. So they asked me, they was like, how do I minister to this group without ostracizing them?
Right.
And I said, make it all inclusive. It's not just one. It's not just one sin.
Right.
It's homosexuality. It's being a glutton. it's being a liar, it's being a thief,
Okay.
it's
Valid.
I was
Valid.
like, it cover all areas, not just one.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I was like, and the room may get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Let it be uncomfortable, because I was like, this is how you minister
Right.
to that without trying to make them feel like you are the outcast of
Yeah.
the church.
And-
Because the one pastor, my spiritual father, I grew up with Bishop Brown. He loved me past that. He, don't get me wrong, I sat myself down, but he was like, I'ma love you while you in this,
Yeah.
but I'ma also tell you the truth.
Absolutely.
You not gonna get married. You're not gonna do this. You're not. That's not who you are. But I'ma still love you while you in it.
Mhm.
And I was like, this is the key point that a lot of us miss in church is the love part. I love you. I will love you while you in it, but I'm also tell you that you need to come out of it.
Yeah.
And when ministering to that, you're like, it's take the pride out, right?
Yeah.
What I mean by that is that things are situational now. I'm not homosexual, but hey, I may go to jail for 20 to life, and I may
13
struggle.
straight.
Like that's what life does to you. Life puts you in predicaments that you don't think you'll never go in.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you know what I mean. You hugged up with the dude. How did you get here? Right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, or you
Talk about it. Or you,
listen,
or
a lot of money. I want to die tonight.
or
right?
lust is a heavy thing for you,
Right.
and what satisfied you before is no longer efficient or enough, and you find yourself looking into other places and getting into other stuff. It's like, how did I get here? Not only that, but also some of the pastors and leaders have to be open, because there's I say this all the time. There's a season of life called the experimental phase,
I bet you it is.
Yeah.
and you try stuff, trying to figure out. You heard something, just trying to figure out.
That's right.
And what happens is, if that area of your life is not dealt with properly, you will define yourself and give yourself definitions and say, "Oh, this is me because I've been doing." And God has to come in and say, "No, I need you to unlearn those behaviors
Right, right.
because what you did during this time frame, I covered
Sensory
you.
phase.
That-
He
that was-
covered me.
Yeah.
I covered you, and you didn't have to. So now I got to tell you, you don't have to subscribe to the narrative that you painted for yourself all these years, because now let me show you who you really are. Let me show you what I called
That's where
you
I'm
to
at right
be.
now.
Let me show you the things that I put inside of you. Let me reveal
Yep.
to you who you really are from before the foundation of the world.
Right,
And
right.
it goes against the person that you've been accustomed to for the last
Yeah.
20 years.
Sharita had a comment.
Yeah, go ahead, Sharita. I can't see it.
Pleasing your flesh and being Christian do not coincide.
Valid.
You have to choose and then do the necessary work. To stay
Absolutely.
free.
Yeah.
Necessary
And
work.
that's real.
Yeah.
And that's everybody in anything, not just a lifestyle of homosexuality or lesbianism, but that's stealing. That's your mindset. Why you still
That-
broke?
That's life.
That's life.
Listen,
Life is choice. Every day you wake up and you choose. You make choices. Whether I'm gonna brush my teeth, whether I'm gonna pray, whether I'm gonna
Hot
get
dog.
on my phone, whether I'm gonna fast, whether I'm gonna go to work, whether I do anything. Everything
Yeah.
is a choice.
Right.
And if you make the wrong choice,
Right.
it can lead you down a rabbit hole. If you make the right choice, it can lead you down a rabbit hole.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
Right.
choices
It's-
lead you.
it's
where they
crazy
lead
to
you.
me though, like the culture of church sometimes baffles me.
Dear
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
because
yeah.
it's
Sweet
more
Jesus.
it's more socially accept. You can accept a person who used to be a hoe and an alcoholic
Right.
and believe in
Guilty.
their deliverance more than somebody
Yeah.
who used to be a crackhead or who used to be a homosexual.
Valid.
Like
That's real
we'll be like,
valid.
oh, that person was a hoe, but God did it. But a person be like, I was delivered from homosexual. We'll see.
Whoa.
I was delivered from being a crackhead.
Really?
We'll see.
Because
as
we-
you move in your purse.
Because
Right.
Like-
because we expect the behaviors to change to prove
Right.
I can be
Behavioral
delivered
modification.
and still feminine.
That's right.
Then I can be delivered and still masculine.
Right.
I can still, as my Mathis would say, you give me crackhead tendencies.
Right.
You're not a crackhead now.
Right.
You used to be, but some of your mannerism and how you handle
Be
things
dry.
still show me that
Right.
that crack was a part of the journey
Yeah,
somewhere.
somewhere.
And we, as people, we don't see the heart.
But you
We don't see
my
the
heart.
hard work all the time.
You cannot
We
see
have
my
what you
heart.
present me. So we then make assumptions,
Yes, we
Right,
do.
right, Facts.
and that's just naturally so. I'm not just OD judging you. The problem is when I try to make my assumption a fact.
That's the truth
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I assume this about you, not knowing you, and I project it on you
Thank.
that you're
Please
this.
don't. Yes.
That's when you come into judgment.
Give
Go
people
ahead.
a chance.
I would say, like, for me, the experience of my mom having a really, really bad drug problem, and so going through that, already having gone through other things that
Yeah.
were just as bad or if not worse, and then It's like now I got to deal with this. We don't even live here. There's no family here, and the family that we live with or are around
Mm-hmm.
is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Huh.
And so having to go through that when she finally did, become clean and was going to college, was
Yeah,
graduating
wow.
and stuff, it still was like that part of me that's like, no, you still this person.
Yeah.
You're still, and saying things that ultimately I feel like it only made things worse because now this person is trying so hard to fix the mistakes that they made, to get clean, to
Yeah.
move forward, and here I am judging them off of how I felt because of what has happened,
Yeah.
instead of
Yeah.
seeing them for who they are now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think it's hard. It's very hard, when somebody changes. You kind of gotta just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Let them do the changes that they need to make. Let them,
Yeah.
And
let
as-
them go through that process.
And as a
If you
leader,
don't mind.
my apostle was great for allowing people to
Yes.
change. So they said so until they proved him wrong.
Yeah.
Yes,
Again.
it was.
Right.
And then again and again and again. All right. We change. All right. Let's,
Thank you.
covenant of grace is what it
Grace.
is.
Literally great.
It's
Grace.
really grace. And until you show me something different, okay, let's go. Oh, we're gonna do
Wow.
it again. Let's go over and over again because God is that kind of
Long
God.
suffering.
Long suffering,
Right.
and sometimes it's hard for us
It's very hard
because
for us.
there are consequences to your behavior that affect me in a way because I'm attached or because I
Sure.
love, because I'm connected. Like the experiences that you sent me through, I still deal with those now today. And just because you're in a better place doesn't mean that what you've done to me still don't hold weight. for
That's
me.
true too.
Right.
And
That's
there's
true
where
too.
forgiveness come in and releasing the people
That's
and dealing with that element. And also, God help me to forgive.
Help me to
Yeah.
forgive.
Like where I can't, help me. I've been living at the stoop too much to even expect my dad to show up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nah,
There's no
That's
so
real.
even when you speak, I have no expectation
Right.
because I've been disappointed so many times consistently.
Yeah.
Even in my adulthood, we grown now.
facts.
But even when you
Oh,
say
man.
you about to pull up, I still have no expectation
My God.
because the decisions from then still affect me now. Do I forgive you? Yeah. I just learned I can't expect out of you what you think I should. And it's a hard pill to swallow. But it's that's
And sometimes you want them to come through.
Yeah.
valid.
Like
Yeah.
like you want that for y'all.
Yeah.
Not just for the moment. Like you want this because you know that'll take y'all relationship to a
No,
different place.
absolutely.
And that's why asking for help
Mm-hmm.
is a hard task to do
Yeah.
because we've been disappointed.
Pointed
too much.
so many
You
times.
get what I'm saying? I can't count on my hands how many times Dad, I love you, and we've come a long way.
Oh,
But
that's
like, yo, dude, I'll be there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah.
gonna come grab you. But knowing you in the bar and I hear it in your voice that
Yeah,
you're not
Oh my God.
coming.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So like, constantly
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one thing to be consistent, but what are you consistently doing?
Right.
Yeah.
Because
No,
if you're not showing up, you know what I'm saying? At some point, your consistency is you're not showing up.
that revival called consistent doors.
See what I mean?
Because they is preaching. Okay.
I would
But
just,
valid. Valid.
because I totally relate to that. I relate to both of y'all 100%. And that was like the biggest thing for me and my mom was just, you never there.
Yeah.
When you was there, you was on drugs. Like, so
Yeah.
it's like, I want to have a real relationship. Let's actually build something. So for a long time, I would beat myself up so much just to try to have that connection and have that relationship
Yeah.
where it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And at some point in time, you just got to say to yourself, like, okay, this is hurting me more than it will ever hurt this person.
Yeah.
Because they're not thinking about it the same way.
Yeah.
Let me let this go. And whatever they give me, whatever time I do have with them,
Yeah.
whatever I do have, like, whatever we have together, that is what we have.
Yeah.
Cherish that.
And you have to because as you were talking, because that's the conversation from some person who's been the victim in the hurt place, but now the person who's been the victim, not the victor, what's the word? Opposite of victim is
The
Villain?
aggressor.
the aggressor. Thank you.
Okay.
The village.
I'm sorry.
No, so to be the aggressor also and to change and to forgive yourself
Oh God.
for the damage that you've done to
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
It's important that you forgive so that I'm not trying to. Dad, you did the topic today. I'm 34,
I was about to say
and
34.
you're trying to recover years that you can't.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you're trying to put me as a 11, 12-year-old, 14.
Thank you.
It's not that anymore.
I've learned
So
on my
I
own.
so I need you to forgive yourself
Yes.
for what it was. But now let's build to where I am and let's go forward and realize there's just certain things I just don't do no more. I
Yeah.
I don't do anymore. So therefore the family that I built don't do anymore. So you got to readjust now to what's happening in the current.
Exactly.
So we can move forward and spend time and rock out. Frank don't play spades, Hennessy, and dominoes,
Thank you.
but I do barbecue, eat food, and get down. Okay, so just having to balance that out, but it's the balance of being able to not only forgive but be forgiven, and that's just
And then understanding that some stuff people are just not gonna forgive
Yeah.
you.
Oh my God.
Because
They don't want to.
I was an aggressor at one point in my life.
Okay.
no, that,
And God created spaces for me to apologize
That's
to
right.
people. And some people forgave me while other ones pretty much was like, if you die tomorrow, I will be okay with
Really?
it. Like, because and that's the thing, when you do stuff to people, yes, God makes all things new.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. But there are still some ripples and consequences that you do deal with. And this is what we don't talk about. I had to be okay with the fact that there's a young lady out here that will never forgive me, who was just like, if she disappeared, I'm not going to be upset. And that was my fault.
yeah.
And I had to take that smoke. And I had to be like, well, God, she may not forgive me, but I need to have your forgiveness.
Absolutely.
Because at this point, there's nothing else I can do. I came clean and I apologized with sincerity. It wasn't just one of those forgive me.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
sincerity. And if this person chooses to hold on to how I damaged them,
Oh man.
I have to be okay with the fact that this is how they look. If this person can't receive a word from me now, I have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
You walk into church and see me preaching and she walk out, I have to be okay with that.
Right.
And that's part of it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's
Yeah,
part.
that's-
That's part you
she's
take
gonna heal
responsibility.
in her. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
She's gonna heal in her time.
Yeah.
So she's gonna. It may take her 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, but at a point in
That's
time,
crazy.
If she chooses
if
to.
she
I mean, they
chooses,
got to heal.
and if she works at it, she will heal,
Yeah.
and it will be. Oh, it may not never be okay,
Yeah.
but it will be turned around.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's part of it too, like taking responsibility of what you've done. Like you could do something to a person, ask for forgiveness, and they just always treat you from that space. That's part. That's part of it.
Mhm.
It's for you to know that God forgive you, forgive yourself, and accept that that's where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't try to change the fact that they like, man, you robbed my house and I never want you in there anymore.
Y'all, I'm outside.
Just
Well,
gonna-
I
gonna
ain't
be a
still in
screen door
20 years.
visitor.
Yeah, but I still don't trust you.
Let me
Yeah.
play.
Now, you accept that
No,
responsibility
valid.
because you did do it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
facts.
For sure.
Sharita said,
Sharita said we have to be truthful
Yeah.
about our weaknesses and shortcomings and not put ourselves in situations that open doors
Come on.
to past bondages.
Yes.
That's
I
valid.
learned
valid.
that all down through 2022.
the Reverend Doctor.
Fact. Listen,
All
it's
down.
going down this morning. We'll be right back. The conversation is just good. We'll get back into hot topics if the Lord say the same, but the conversation is fire.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to call in 716-299-0013, 716-299-0013. We are taking calls. It's going down right here. Fire 716 Big Frank in the morning. Coming up, Janae Echo. Yep.
But yeah, like that's a real thing. Like we always talk about like the victim, but there's more to it when you are the person that did the damage.
Yeah, no, that's real.
You know what I'm
No,
saying? Like
facts.
I had like I ruined a friendship because I was being smooth. And unfortunately, this young lady, I talked to her at a weird moment in her life, and because of that, she formed an attraction to me, and that kind of made life a little bit more challenging for her because now it's like, oh, now I have this proclivity, but I never knew it was extended. So she was smooth with it, and now my life is messed up because of you. Like
Right.
now I don't know my identity because of you.
Come on.
And it was like, okay, I saw this person, made a first attempt, they ran. So I was like, okay, this is not the day. I'm apologize. Second situation, listen, I am so sorry. Whatever. Like, I don't care about what happens to you. And I had to be okay with that. Like, and it took time. I was like, God, forgive me, because what am I going? And then walking. Right, and then walking into good morning, Veronica. Walking into leadership.
Good morning, God, mommy.
I had to go through another level of forgiveness because I'm like, now I'm a leader. Because I was like, I'm a minister now, and then now I'm an elder, and I was like, okay, God, now I'm an elder. What if I walk in this chick's church? What if and she like, oh, like
Right.
I can't like I have to be okay with the fact that she may not the word I have in my mouth for her life, she may not be able to accept because of what I did in my past.
Yeah.
And I had to be okay with that. And a lot of times when you're an aggressor or when you do things wrong to people, it isn't just like, oh, you're supposed to forgive me. They may be like, and it's not true. It's not like don't try to get closure out of try to getting forgiveness. Like don't try to get closure out of this. Understand that what you did to me caused lasting impression. And as much as you had to go through your period of God to get healed and get better, allow me the space to not like you and be like, you know what? It's gonna take me time to believe the God in you now. Because you damaged me when you was working for the enemy.
And see, and that's one of the things too that I think about now is like, you don't know what place you're gonna be going to. So them skeletons that's in your closet, and let me tell you, and not even just thinking about certain situations where I know that I did something that I shouldn't have done. It's just like, now what if the tides was reversed, or when they're reversed? Now I may have to go through something similar to that, and knowing what I know, and not even just that, maybe I don't, but the thought of I did that to somebody, or I did this whatever with other people, and now here I am in this situation. It's going to be in your mind, like it plays mind games.
And that's why forgiveness is important, because that can be a hindrance to you fulfilling your full purpose.
Yeah.
Right.
Because sometimes what you suffered in or had to go through is what you've been called to. It's like, God, I'm not equipped. I'm not qualified. Who me? Yes, me. Fire 716, your boy, Big Frank locked in the Big Frank in the morning. That was a smooth transition because the song was ending. It's going down. The conversation is real good this morning. And I hope that you are tapped in on the app and online, and that you are truly getting something that you need this morning, because I don't know why. It's the spirit. All right, here I go. Because I believe that the conversation is on purpose for a reason.
Yes.
Because if I'm getting ready to open up the door for you,
Right.
I can't let the things of the past that was behind other doors stop you from making the progress that you need to really get to where I'm trying to get you to. Because I don't think that God talks like this. I talked about the door a while back. I'm placing for you an open door, but the door is opening. But I can't let you be your own hindrance. You haven't opened the door. You haven't gone through the door. You haven't touched the door because you told yourself, because of past doors, things you can't really change or rearrange, that you're not really progressing forward now. And I think that God is trying to get us to a place, not just being part of the radio station, but in our lives independently, because there is a blessing in store for you. But because you have this mindset about yourself, because of things you haven't forgiven or letting go or advanced from, you're holding yourself back, and you can't afford to do that. You just can't afford to do that. You got to go with the confidence of God, go with the confidence of what He said and what He wants you to do. Because without that, the enemy has too much ammo. I'm gonna say it. The enemy has too much ammo to use against you to stop you. But God is.
So,
That's real.
I always say, like, what I've really been learning too is just that you have to get yourself together, because you don't know how you are going to be part of another person's story.
Valid.
That's like you may be for progressing somebody.
She just
I
And-
a long time ago. Sometimes we are the villain.
Yes.
Someone's story.
Yes. Yes.
Valid.
I had this perception in my mind. I'm not even joking. Don't laugh at me. But I had this perception in my mind for a long time that I was just the most nicest, kindest, best person. I'm not even like, I really thought
Tell the
this.
truth.
And then I look back at some of my actions. I'm like, oh my God, I'm pretentious.
That's real.
I'm super
That's
pretentious.
real.
Like,
I'm mad
I had
defensive.
this-
I'm mad defensive.
I had this
Telling it.
idea of like, oh, like, and in a way, it's like, you really thought you was
That's
better
real.
than the same people you was really
That's
growing up
very
with and
true.
going, doing, and it's like,
Very
you're not. You just aren't doing the same
Same.
things that they're doing.
Yeah.
But you in the same.
It's sin.
Hello.
It's sin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and for me,
So-
I was too honest about my truth. I was like, I'm a liar.
I'm honest about being a
Like,
liar.
I'm a liar. I was stealing because I needed stuff. Like, and I sat here just was glutton for real. Like, I was way too honest with myself that I disqualified myself from
Right.
a lot, because I was just like, yo, I told
I'm really bad.
so many lies. Like, did you do that? Dude, I clean lied about that. Like, or it was just like, this was missing. Like I told my dad, like one conversation, I told my dad, I planned how I was stealing from this man. Like I planned his pay periods, and I knew where he hid his money. Like I was just like, oh, he get paid on this day, but these bills come out this time, so he gonna think he paid this, so I'm gonna take this $50. Like I was like actively, but it was because of my circumstance. Granted, we ain't had no food in the house, so I was trying to do what I had to do. But it was just like I was so real about my sin that when I actually came into the calling that God gave me, I was like, but God, I did this, I did this, I did this,
Yeah.
yo, I did this, I did it, and it was like these were my
So?
holdups
Yes.
from embracing what God called me to be, because it was just like I know what I did.
I know what I did.
And God,
I,
how you gonna use me? And I
Right.
know what I
I
did.
know
Right.
what I did.
I
Those are the
literally,
people he wanted.
yeah,
Ah.
because I literally cried when I got into ministry. I was sitting in the office at 943 Jefferson Avenue, in Buffalo, New York, and I was talking to my mentor at the time, and we was just going through it. And I said, I can't. I said, not me. I said, no. But I knew God had called me. I said, not me. Based off the decisions that I've made
Facts.
and the villain that I've been to the people,
I've
Yes.
disqualified
not
myself.
me. I mean, I was like snot, like break through. But had I never went, I would never be where I am today. But it's like, what other areas of your life are you holding back from?
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
that, it might be your moment, and it might be your time,
That's right.
and you are afraid. I used to preach to the youth. If I'm preaching and they come and take me to jail, don't worry about me. Just finish the message. I'll be fine, because I've done some things
Yeah.
and I've made some decisions that were just not for the benefit, and some people got hurt along the way. But God, I thank you for your grace and your mercy and your love.
Yeah.
But while I execute this assignment, okay, here we go. It took me a very long time, and every once in a while, even as an adult, that thing hit my heel. Oh, wait a minute, and try to get off me, because I've been designed for this. But there's so many things that we don't embrace or go after because we're afraid. If the skeletons pull up, let's call it Thriller and let's go. Because at this point in the journey, feel free. Because I've done my due diligence. I've made some mistakes, and I don't have time to hide and
Yeah.
pretend. I have wisdom, because everybody don't need to know my business.
Right.
But when I come across those who have experience and they feel like they're by themselves, let me show you the story.
Yes.
Let me give you this conversation that Denny's at the table of what this really is.
Right.
Because I'm gonna say this and be quiet. Your experience is the experimental phase that I talked about earlier.
Yeah.
That they feel that they're by themselves with.
Yeah.
I tried crack. I tried coke. I tried sex. I did orgies. I was out here. I tried this. I used to steal. I tried to steal. And you feel like you was by yourself.
Right.
No,
But
facts.
welcome to the table. Oh, let me tell you. Back in 1982, and tell that story because they need to know that you're not just talking. Because let me help you, Emma. Really quiet. I'm such a preacher. And we gotta do. We'll just do our words of encouragement because I need to go through my experience to help them
Yeah.
to overcome theirs. It's just a requirement. But sometimes the grace of God gives you the presentation where you can't see what I've been through and what I had to deal with so that I am effective when I preach to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the grace of God. I can tell you something, but you can't picture it.
Right.
Some people can't picture Frank smoking weed like he ate. They don't see me going to the store, buying the blunt, licking it, cracking it up, and doing this. Frank, I just can't see it.
I smoke many a blunt.
That's God's grace.
Yeah.
Because you can't picture him hot wiring the car, trying to steal it, trying to steal that Mercedes, the Bronco.
Really?
You can't see it. Running away from home, just leaving the house, driving, riding the streets of Buffalo, just so trying to go to my friend's house, but his mom drove me back home. I fake went in the house, got back on my bike, and left again. Sleeping in the car. I can't picture it, Frank, because that's the grace of God.
Yeah.
That's the grace of God. But there's somebody who had gone through the same thing that needs to know about that story that you experienced. Everybody doesn't know.
Yeah.
But you can't hold it back out of fear.
Out of
And
fear
that's
of
the
judgment.
thing.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing I actually loved about my bishop, because like when we had the vetting process, mighty God, like Bishop was like, we had our individual meetings with him, and he like, first of all, I was gonna lie to him in the meeting, because he was just like he was gonna be like, "Do you think you're called?" And I was going to be like, But when he asked me, he was like, "Do you believe like this is the season that you're called?" And I couldn't even lie. I was like, "Yes." And I was like, "But Bishop, you don't want to do this." And he was like, "What you mean?" And I was like, "Do you know the lies that are told about me currently? Do you really want to have that smoke come to your church? Do you know?" I was like, "Bishop, you can't license me. I still cuss a lot." Like, and he was
He'll
like, "Do you think?"
discharge.
He was like, "You think God didn't notice
Right.
before He placed you in my
Right.
spirit?"
My God.
He was like, "God know that you cuss, but you going." He's like, "Your cussing is going to stop." He was like, "In the lies that was told about you." He's like, "You don't think I know the truth about you?"
Come on.
And he was like, "And if somebody comes to me about that lie, I know how to deal with it. But you think God's not gonna cover that
Right.
when I license you?"
Right.
And I was just like amazed at the God in him, because I'm like, dude, licensing me come with smoke. It's gonna get smoky. But for him, it was just like, if God said it,
Yeah.
God knew that this moment was the moment that you needed to. This is the season that you need to be licensed, despite what you feel about
That's right,
yourself.
that's right.
So I'm going to do what God says do, and in the process, things are gonna fall off of you. Now the cussing thing is slowly falling off.
You ever think
Right.
about when you were in these situations, right? Because I think about this all the time. You ever think about the prayers that you prayed and the things that you asked God for, and then stuff start happening, and you're like, "Why is this going on?" You're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I prayed and
I
I
sure
asked for this."
Right.
Okay, Lord.
Sure did.
I used to, when I was little, I used to pray and I used to ask God all the time, "I want to be an angel. Like, I want to be an angel. I want to do this and do that and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Oh, you can't be an angel, obviously, because that's a whole different being." But then there were certain things that, like certain situations that God will put me in. And I'm scared because these are dangerous situations. But lo and behold, I have saved multiple people's lives. Like, I have done things and I'm like, God, you is so crazy. Like,
Girl, you're my angel.
So I really,
You're my
I
darling.
really,
No,
like,
valid.
God really, he
Yeah.
really does that. Like,
Right.
he listens to them prayers. Let me tell you.
He does. Yeah.
No, let's get into let's inspire the people. We got 4 minutes. I can't see. That was the wrong second. We got 6 minutes to inspire people. Give them a word of pressure on. I can do all that.
Dougie Fresh.
Oh,
Dougie Fresh, minute fresh maroon.
You got 6 minutes to change your life. just mad preachery, right? You got 6 minutes to make the adjustment that's required for your life to get where you got to go.
Because
You
the
got 6
goodness
minutes.
is about to meet you at the door.
Listen.
Right.
Yes.
Inspire the people. What you got, kid?
What up? Though? Oh, hey. Okay.
Because you took lots of notes.
First of all, I would like to, honestly, I really would, because God will get this to who it needs to get to. I would like to apologize to any and everybody that I have offended. I'm not gonna say if, but just if you could hear me, if you tune in, if you hear this years from now, please be healed. Charge it to my head and to my flesh and not my heart. I do want to say that I don't want to disqualify myself anymore.
Yes.
And, I don't have enough money to hold myself back. I simply can't afford to
Yeah.
hold myself back.
Valid. Oh,
Day
wow.
27, no vape, no nicotine. Y'all can do this. God bless you.
Yes.
Valid.
Yes.
We gonna always celebrate that.
For
All
real.
the
Valid.
Other Buffalo Bennett.
Life has to live having you on the mountaintop at one point.
Uh-huh.
They have the waves crashing, hitting up against you, laying on the beach, butt naked, right?
Okay.
Messed up. You can be at one point up, one point down at the next point.
That's facts.
What makes you better is who you decide and what you decide to lean on, or whom you decide to lean on
Yeah.
during those times. During those times, you're called to lean on God. He's the only one that understands, and He's putting you through that so you can be better for the destiny that He called you for. And He's already equipped you for that when you were born. God don't make no mistakes. So just know whatever you're going through, God's equipped you for it. He loves you enough that He sent His only Son, allowed you to put the Holy Spirit in you,
Yeah.
made you after His image. And how much more love can He,
Right. What else can I give you?
Right,
You know that.
You breath in your lungs this morning, so just know that even if you're feeling down, know that God's equipped you for that. And be blessed.
I wanted to.
Fatima.
Oh, I was just gonna.
No,
Can
you
I
good.
piggyback
No, you
off of that real
Absolutely.
quick? So I just want to piggyback off that. Sometimes, because God takes us through the valleys, right?
Yes.
Sometimes we have to go through the valleys. We don't understand that there are mountains around us that we will conquer, that we will be at, because we're in the valley dealing with the darkness, dealing with the things going on in life. But you have to understand that you may be here, but the plan for God is so beyond you that you'll never be able to see it until you get to that mountain. And then when you get to that mountain, you may have to go back down the valley and go to another mountain. And that's gonna be higher than the last one. So just know that you will get through what you're going through. Because what is coming for you, what is going to be there for you, is going to be way more than you could ever imagine.
I like those sorts of words. What is coming for you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's
Hawk
real.
me down. I mean, no, valid. Who else? Zima, who going next? Word of inspiration for the people.
Okay, word of inspiration for the people. I guess it's for myself as well. But I just want to say, advocate for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Pray, lead, listen, and follow. God has worked so many things out in my life that I can do nothing but thank Him.
Yeah.
So there are times where we don't know the situation, we don't know our calling, we don't know where we're going to go, how we're going to do it. But God has, like I said, it has already been done. It's already spoken. He has it in your plan. Advocate for yourself. Pray to God that you will know what is needed for you, and that He will give you discernment to do it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Big dream.
Did you already go? Oh.
I could say my words of wisdom is take care of your health
Oh God.
Amen.
because you can't fulfill the assignment
Amen.
if your body is breaking down.
Amen.
It's way too. I have seen way too much premature death. And people that I know had more in them, but at the time they just chose not to take care of themselves and they died. And so, like this, you can't say, you called to the nations and you can't even fit on the plane. You know what I'm saying? It's we got to get to the place
That's real.
that
I feel attacked.
it really wasn't. It wasn't an attack towards you, but like this is a reality. Of,
You
like,
healthy though.
this is a reality, and this was my reality. I know, like, I can't say that I'm called to the nations, and there's some planes I won't be able to fit on because they're small chartered planes, and these seats are extra
The spirit
small
won't hear it.
and things like that. So, I said it in a funny manner, but you can't put all this investing in the kingdom and you're not investing in your temple.
Valid.
So it's time to take our health seriously, even though I'm about to get these chocolate strawberries and these lemon cookies. But no, seriously.
Come on there.
Um, so
Release the word, man of God.
so
Everybody did it because.
Take your time.
Thank you.
y'all hear y'all got these songs that play rent free in y'all head,
Yes.
right? Sometimes it might be like a word, a phrase.
Mhm.
Sometimes you might repeat something, and you're like, "What does this mean?" It means something,
Mhm.
you know. But take the time to decipher and figure it out, and don't take it at face value.
Mhm.
I was watching a video where this guy he spoke about a dream he had, and the dream was so vague and vivid. I won't say vague, but it was so in detail that he had the dream 10 years later,
Mhm.
10 or 1 year later, one of the two. But somebody had hit him and like, "Yo, come to my house. I want to talk to you." And he was like, he was just sitting there chilling, and the dude had an agenda. He said, "You know why you here, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "The dream," and threw the dude for a loop
Mhm.
because he had spoken of it not once but only to his wife. So believe what you see, take it at face value, and go with it. But don't just take it You got to decipher it and figure it out so that it works for you.
Got you.
Big Frank.
Revival Fire. I said mine. I don't talking. That was enough. Revival Fire. The open door consistently happening. Feel the dream coming soon. No, make sure you guys support my friend Fatima Matthews. Her event is taking place February 18th, 2023, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 825 Depot Avenue, Niagara Falls, New York. Your tickets can be purchased online at eventbrite.com. Let's support, even if you can't physically attend timing, let's support, give a donation or a seed just to support her and what we're doing. Kiara, Asia, we see you. Family is good. We'll be back on Monday doing it all over again. It's going down. It's Big Frank in the morning, y'all. We holler at y'all. Peace, love, soul, grease, M&M's, Kool-Aid, juice,
See y'all later.
Peanut, Piper,